Too many women, too many men.
You're missing the point.
No,
though.
I'm not. No.
It's not about the gift.
No.
This is our little story and a true thing. Two hearts come together in a mutual ring, keeping it together with a real life. Welcome to the family. This is our life. It's perfect. I just sent you here for me. You're the sugar to my tea. Meet the Mitchell family.
Why are you laughing? What is so funny?
I don't know. I don't know why I'm looking forward to this. So when I usually dread these kind of things. But MTM today is a Saturday episode, and we're going to do a different kind of thing. We're going to dedicate a video to Valentine's Day. And when we say Valentine's Day, we mean relationships and love and the ups and the downs and stuff. For me, I want this to be kind of like a couples therapy. And therapy, I want it to be therapy for us too as well, right?
Yes.
Because a lot of times, you see, what happens is we don't face certain questions head on as couples, because regular couples aren't in the situation where they have a whole heap of questions where they have to look and answer truthfully, objectively, and so on. So I feel like we can make progress
True.
with answering these questions truthfully and just being open and honest, and I'm sure people looking on can also make progress in their relationship.
Yeah. And we promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
And when I don't want this to lead to we're vexed after this, right?
It could happen.
please let's promise that it won't
Lead to us getting
vexed
vexed.
after this. All right.
We obviously still maintain a lot of privacy in our marriage. And there may be some questions that are just out of bounds for us at this time, which is fine, because, you know, we also believe in holding our marriage sacred. But we are sharing in a spirit of, like what we do with the channel, which is just letting people know that, like, you're not alone. And in your relationship or marriage, you might face something, and we have been there where we feel like we're the only people on the planet who go through this. And it's just because we're older and wiser now that we realize nothing that we go through is unique. And talking to other couples and, you know, talking to our parents, learning about their marriages, we're like, wow, we are not unique. And once you realize that you have the same problems as everybody else a lot of the time, you realize that you can figure things out. Because sometimes that's the base of it, where you feel like nobody else is going through this. I can't do this. I can't live this way. This is not healthy. This is not good. Da, 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 da. But once you realize that other people go through it, sometimes you're like, okay, so maybe I can work through that.
Yeah.
And there's a solution for that. That's not true for everything, but for some things. And so let's make that clear too. And also, we are not therapists. We're not marriage counselors. We're just two people who are married and who are willing to share about our experiences as best as we can. That's our disclaimer.
Valentine's Day. You know the history of Valentine's Day? Why
No.
they call it Valentine's Day?
I have no clue.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I
So you
think
just say Happy Valentine's and I know? I joke. I never knew,
You
but
see?
I kind of just looked. I googled it.
I think it's something to do with like a guy who was called Saint Valentine. That's
Yeah.
about as much as I know. I
Yeah.
don't know how Cupid come into this. I don't know how we come to celebrate the day. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, no, apparently a lot of it is really unknown. So it's like it has been such a long time that you know, Chinese telephone, some people say it's this, some people say it's that.
Right.
But apparently Saint Valentine died in the name of love, or you know, and
Okay.
and then him legacy live on with Valentine's Day.
Okay.
I'm sure it was
That's
a
like
woman.
that's
I'm sure it was a woman who decided that give gifts on the 14th. Let it evolve into that thing, you know?
show me
Where
a
we
love
get
me with a
something.
gift.
Stay woke, people. Anyway, we have a lot of questions here, and it will take us a year and a day if we were to go through all of them. So we're just going to pick them semi-randomly.
Yeah, I guess you could start with like
We'll honor the top comment.
Top comments, because that means that people liked that question and so want to see the answer. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let me just check I'm recording, because I get crazy. Okay, we're good. Every video.
Okay, so you want to read the questions?
I kind of left it up to you because then
No, but you worked on radio for the last year, so you have the
today
radio
was my
vibe.
last day.
Yeah.
I just want to start by saying thank you to my amazing husband who supported me today. He literally came there to hold my hand and to like watch me cry and to like hug me when I was feeling crazy. I love you.
I love you too. So you see, relation tips. You want a practical relation
tips.
relation tips. Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah, relation tips.
Okay, let's do this, because trust me. Let me check on the time. We're going to. Should I set a timer so that we have an idea of how much time we're doing this? Because we could talk all day.
No, we'll just check the time as we go along.
Okay.
Was there a time in your relationship where you felt like you weren't going to make it? If so, how did you guys work your way back from the edge?
Now, disclaimer, Wayne and I have not discussed these topics or questions, so it will be really interesting to see what each of us have to say about this.
So you want me to answer first?
It doesn't matter.
You answer first then. You did it on the edge one time?
Today I was on the edge. 105.1. Okay, no, let's be serious. Okay, I think every couple comes to a point at 1 point, 2 points, 5 points in their relationship or marriage where they feel like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Even if it's just in a moment. Like me tell you?
In a moment, okay.
I would argue to say that women get there more than men too. We're a lot more emotional. But there were definitely times when I was like, I don't know if we don't joke the thing out.
I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I don't remember no time when I was like, okay,
that's
this is it.
the thing. Men really don't ever think that, they don't know what's going on in our head sometimes. And sometimes it could just be the slightest thing that trigger you up and you're like, I don't know if I can do this for the rest of my life. Wayne, don't be joking.
I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
You've never felt like that before?
Never.
Amazing. I think a lot of men would feel that way.
Dude, we've had like big arguments, but at the end of the day,
No, Wayne is a gung-ho, like, I don't care. We are working this out. Like, don't even, like, so anything you want to say. We'll work this out, which is
but then
great.
I do my pick.
Yeah.
And guess what? We have a lot riding on this. And that's one of the things that I think keeps relationships together. And that's just being practical. You know what I mean? Like, no kids, no love, no nothing there.
Easy to go your separate ways. Yeah.
But being practical about it. And this is how I look at it a lot of times, a new child, a new milestone, a new monumental moment, a new energy of love, a new spiritual addition to the family, a new being that the universe has trusted us to take care of. I look at these things and I see great responsibility in maintaining the unit, maintaining the love, maintaining the trust. So, I look at everything, whether it be a business endeavor that we have together, I look at it as a new thing to build our bond. Sometimes it's not about the touchy-feely, huggy, this,
It's not about
that.
love all the time.
Right,
Yeah.
it's not right, but it gets back around to that.
That's the base of it. But I think that's the important thing to know. Like, when you're in a relationship, that's not really the only thing that's gonna keep you together. You have these other things, as Wayne said, practical things too.
Yeah, and a lot of them are much smaller than kids.
It's
and
so
stuff.
true.
You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
so true.
Tammy opening a business, bravely going into creating this business plan, and I'm just like, wow, I'm in love. I'm this new side of her I'm just seeing this, because guess what? When we're courting, didn't start any businesses, no. So this is an
We were also
evolution.
in our young 20s, so that's the
Exactly,
other thing too. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that is another thing that will come up. You know somebody in their 20s,
Ooh, preach.
it's not the same person in their 30s.
Ooh,
Might be
preach.
better, it might be worse, but guess what? If you love and accepted the person and have decided that, okay, this is the one, and I'm on this journey, you're going to take the good with the bad, and you are going to be there as the what do you call it, the crutch to prop up
Right.
whatever.
And you take turns doing that.
And you take turns doing that.
Yeah.
Life is like
Yeah.
that. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down for a 3-year period.
so
Sometimes
true.
you're building the dream and your significant other or can't see what is why the process is the way how it is. But guess what? You have the vision and you know, so okay, 'cause remember, you know, the house have to build, right? Before you live in it. Don't it? So there are times when it's a building stage.
So true.
You know what I mean? The
So
house not
true.
ready for living it yet, but we have to go and we have to do
And
the
then
top,
you get to the
and we have
point
to do
where
lighting,
then
and we
you
have to do
can,
the plumbing.
it's an enjoyable part where you're decorating and moving in. And
Just
then guess what
maintaining it.
happened? After a while, sometimes the house start broke down and we have to do build
Work
back
on
again.
it,
So
work
I
on it,
think-
calling people sometime too
True,
to help work
true,
on it. So
true.
that's where I'm not really a big fan of like therapy for every little thing, but sometimes it's good. It don't have to be a therapist. It can just be
A
somebody
family
else.
member, a friend, anybody to give you counsel, guidance.
For us is MTM family, because here
Yeah,
we have
we-
now
we get a lot
these
of-
great questions,
Yeah.
a lot of advice, a lot of DMs, a lot of personal, you know, people
And we
telling
really
us
do
their
have great
problems.
friends who have
Sounding boards.
great. They're unbiased. They are married as well.
Mm-hmm.
Our parents, our siblings, like we have this open dialogue all the time.
Yes.
But if I was to bring it back to the question at hand, and something you mentioned earlier as well, we don't always grow in the same direction. And what has been a saving grace for Wayne and I is that we've always grown in the same direction. Maybe not at the same time. Maybe sometimes I'm a little further ahead or Wayne is a little further ahead. Sometimes one might veer and I might be like, oh, but I'm not ready to go there yet. And I might take a detour and we end up back in the same. We always have a common goal in sight. And we have a common way that we approach life. We have a similar way in which we like to parent. We have some key things that are aligned. And that has really been a saving grace for us. So back to that question, have we ever felt like we've come to the edge? I certainly know that, of course I have. We've been together since we were 20, little bit. We got married in our 20s. We are now approaching our 40s. Of course, in that time, there were moments where you just think to yourself, no, I can't.
Yeah.
But it was nothing that we could never work through and sort through. And I tell you right now, the real gift for us is that we have managed to grow in the same direction. I mean, I would say even with that, you know, a big thing for us is the fact that, and something that we learned along the way, because like I said, and as Wayne said, sorry, we're not the same people we were in our 20s. That's not to say that the core of who we are aren't the same, but even how we deal with conflict now versus in our 20s. You remember how I used to scream off my head? I used to get off, you know, and lose it. And I had such a bad temper. It's true, I did. And now I think I am more quiet when I get angry. I'm more likely to give a jab than Wayne is. I'm more likely to go for the jugular.
Well, I think I deserve credit for that too, because the truth is both people cannot be going for the jugular at the same time, because
True.
that's a recipe for disaster.
He taught me the word jugular.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be careful and
What did you say you needed credit for?
for not trying to inflame, what do you call it now? Not trying to
Add fuel to the fire?
add fuel
Yeah.
to certain fires, and I kind of just listen, like I know what triggers you over the years, and I try to stay further
We
away
both,
from
though,
that
to
type
be
of
fair,
stuff.
used to be a lot more explosive than we are now.
Of course,
we both really
of
were.
course. So we both deserve
And-
credit. High five.
And now we are a lot quicker to a solution. And I think something I used to be an expert at was malice. Me could have malice win. Some people say hours. I could have got days. I didn't even have to talk. I was terrible at that stuff. And I have to say, you know, as you grow up and as you get in touch with yourself and who you are and who you would like to be, those things don't work. And it always comes back to this. Is this for the greater good of our relationship? But also, is this the greater good for me? Like, is this how I want to project myself into the world? Is this who I want to be? And that's a big question, and that's what I was coming to actually, is that the greatest gift that I think we learned in the last 5 years is the gift of allowing each other to be who each other is. And figuring out what that looks like. And allowing each other to find our own path and our own happiness, and realizing that we were not responsible for each other's happiness, but that we could just add to it. But if we're not happy, there's nothing in the world I can do to make Wayne happy. If Tammy not happy, there's nothing could have done everything under the sun. It would not work. And we realize that our individual happiness, wellness, it mattered even more than how we were together. What a wicked gingy fly like that. That's a gingy fly, you know. So I think that's a big key to realize that, like, how you come into a situation individually and how you maintain your individuality in the unity is important.
Well said. Having said that, now we can't spend so much time
I
on
know,
one
but
question.
we kind of answered a few questions.
We
I'm
answered
sure.
a lot of questions in that one. Yeah.
So now you have to sift through.
Tammy, you are a beautiful demonstration of the woman behind the man, the matriarch of your family, the genesis of love that surrounds you. What practices keep you strong and centered?
I think you would disagree with that. No, just kidding.
No.
I'm trying my best, guys. That's the truth. You know, I'm trying my best to be the matriarch. I'm trying my best to show up for everybody the best way I can. I really am. And I don't always do a great job of it. Sometimes I fail miserably.
Yeah, but I mean, you do a great job.
Thank you.
I'm in the middle of the situation. I can say that wholeheartedly. What do you think
What
keeps
does it
you
keep centered?
Yeah.
I think
You
just
meditate, you pray.
yeah.
I think podcasting is good for you.
Yeah, I think it's back to that idea of, you know, looking after my own needs and my own self. A little self-love thrown in there. It's hard for me to find time for myself, which is part of why I had to stop working at the radio station, because I was just out of time, which meant that I was neglecting myself, and because of that, then neglecting everybody around me where they needed me most as well. So a part of my centering is just trying to understand what makes Tammy well, and what makes me tick, and what makes me excited. They keep me centered. They keep me very close to our center, and keep me going for sure. They're a big part of that. My family, everybody.
Good answer. Even though I was expecting to hear Wayne, but okay, it's cool.
You are the center.
Anyway,
How has having children changed your marriage? Are there any difficulties? Did you guys struggle? We've never not had children in our relationship.
and I think we gave a little bit of that answer in our first part there.
We don't know each other without children, because right off the bat when we started dating, Gio was very little and very much a part of our lives. And so and shortly after Alex, and then shortly after Jackson, then Atlas and us. So we don't really know. We laugh all the time and we say we don't know what it was like to not have children. On our wedding day, Gio was sat on my lap, like, meaning we don't know. So I don't know if it's changed anything. It's apart from like enriching our experience.
Exactly. For me,
It's
kids-
challenging sometimes though.
Yeah.
Oh, it's brought out sides of us that we didn't expect to.
It robs our personal one-on-one time.
We have to be so intentional about the time we spend
Yeah,
together.
it makes you a lot more intentional about the focus that you have on each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The people who started this whole thing. You know, but as I said, children have made us stronger. You know, it made us better communicators.
We learned a lot about each other through that. In fact, very early on, I think I was very blessed to see what Wayne was like as a father.
And likewise.
Yeah, and thank you. And I think that is like, that was a big deal for me.
Yeah.
Because
parenting
I knew
is a big deal in relationships, and we had that.
we got to see it.
we
We got
see
to test
that.
drive that car.
Yeah.
And so, you know, for anybody out there who may be, you know, kind of in a relationship or looking at a relationship where somebody may have a child already, like, it's actually a perfect opportunity to see how this person is as a parent.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you look at it in a negative way, and I think it's actually a really positive insight.
And to be practical about it, if you guys don't have any kids, borrow a picnic for the day.
But no, it's
Borrow your
true.
big sister picnic. You know,
But do it for like 4 days straight. And
right?
then
And then you're gonna get a little window into the type of parenting. I mean, obviously it's not your kids,
yeah,
so
you don't really know too.
but you're gonna kind of get a better view of their interaction, their natural instincts to deal with kids and
Yeah.
stuff.
But it's hard though. Parenting is hard, man. Sometimes we call each other out. Like Wayne calls me out all the time. Like the other day, Atlas was driving me mental, and I said something I shouldn't have, and Wayne was like, "Tam," and I was like, and then, like, you know, even the other day we had to, like, because we do it all the time, and we are so blessed to have Momo and Angie around, and they're growing up, and, you know, we have grandparents who are totally involved, and it's still stressful. Stressful. And the other day we were even saying to each other, man, we had to even, like, say, put down the phone so that we can spend time with them and not just be constantly, you know, as a parent, you feel like you're constantly telling somebody what to do, what to eat, where they need to be, you know what I mean? And it's tough, you know? But these are the parenting years.
Let me tell you, man, kids are joy. I mean, just to look at it for the raw perspective of what it is, it's us coming together and sharing our genealogy, our gene
It's
pools.
crazy.
And here we have a little human being, you know? So it's beautiful. I enjoy it, and
Yeah.
I think it makes us stronger.
Yeah,
One more picnic, what do you say?
I would.
You see, we're aligned. We have incentives very much aligned.
We do. We parent very similarly.
Yeah, for
Crazy.
sure.
We
for
have
sure.
the same standards,
Yeah.
morals. We
Yeah.
expect a certain amount that we can
Yeah.
give leeway in certain things.
Yeah.
We align in that. All right. How important is religion in choosing a partner? That's an interesting question.
Yo. That's deep.
That is deep.
That's deep.
I think more than religion, because I grew up in a very religious family. I knew that I wanted to be with somebody who could understand spirituality and who could have conversations with me about God and the universe, and about religion. We talk about religion a lot. But it was important for me to be with somebody I could have those conversations with. So some of our best conversations are about spirituality and God.
No doubt.
It really was a big part of our relationship, but we've grown in that too. Like, I think my perception of God at the beginning of our relationship, based on where we are now, is completely different because of our conversations. And I think that's been a great thing, that we kind of push each other to reach for more, to think for more. To his favorite thing to say to me back in the day was just, well, what do you think? He used to say it to me all the time. I know that's what your parents think, and I know that's what you grew up with, but what do you think?
And for me, spirituality and my observation of spirituality has also made me a better husband, because I know that I'm dealing with not just a human but a spiritual being as well, you know. And the human aspect of a person is imperfect. Is you know what I mean? Like we'll make mistakes, we'll do stuff and regret it, you know. And a lot of times I'm just like, I accept the good, the bad, and the ugly in everybody, and I know that I'm not perfect either. But then a part of me can separate the spiritual aspect of somebody and the human element of them, and just know, say, you know what, I'm willing to accept this person for their flaws, because none of we not perfect. None of we not perfect.
But if somebody didn't understand about spirituality or God or anything, that would be hard for me to connect to them. And I think if you don't connect on the same level with that, that can be difficult for you.
That can be difficult.
But don't rule out the fact that you could probably learn from somebody who believes something completely different from you too. You know, because like I said, I grew up in a very religious background. I believed one thing and about something, and this was what I believed and this is what I was taught, and I never really looked any further into it. And I have to say that Wayne was a big part of my growth with that, and he was a big part of me developing a new relationship with God. So, and it wasn't through religion, you know. So it's an interesting thing that can happen there.
Yeah. That's probably a conversation that we can have in the future.
Yes.
That spirituality conversation, let's have it own little. You know, that conversation we're never done yet. Yeah, anyway.
All right.
More questions.
This is a good one. This comes from a guy. It says, how do you decide what to get for Valentine's Day, especially year after year, without buying unnecessary or something for the wife? He says, in my case, who has almost everything. Good one.
Like in my case, not almost everything, but
oh God! Let's talk about the early days of Valentine's Day. Those things meant so much to us, to me. I shouldn't say us. You know, real girly stuff where it was like, if you know, you base so much on this thing, like you wanted that type of effort made, because you know, God, it just sounds so ridiculous now,
Yeah,
like looking back. But now, oh gosh, I've realized that something that's far more important to me is the thought behind it. And like, okay, so for example, if Wayne is going to give me anything, I want to know Wayne went and chose it and did it, even if it is just a card. I hate when it is something where it's just last minute, and I don't like that. Like that to me makes me feel a little bit more like, oh, you know, you could give me a diamond ring the day, but if I feel like you just did kind of call a friend to pick it up from the place, I'm like, nah, bro, did you go and get it? Like, I'm far more into like my love language is acts of service, you see. But to be honest with you, we just had this discussion like for years now on Valentine's Day and on Christmas. We're just like, yo, shall we just do something together? Like, we don't try and like buy each other gifts and do all of that.
Yeah,
it's futile.
For telling the truth, like it might sound away, but me's not a man for buying to the world standard of, yo, you have to get this and you have to get this and make sure so the gift nice and rare and the gift perfect. And I've always been like, yo, really, like bit superficial.
You mean for Valentine's Day?
Yeah. Less so for Christmas, because you know that's more established, but like
but it's the same thing.
It's
still marketing.
Exactly. Not really too, but don't get me wrong, I also know that a good gift is a perfect way to soothe
Wayne,
the soul of your,
and let's just tell the truth,
your person.
Wayne is a classic of like get help from somebody to like do it the last minute. That is what used to drive me nuts.
And just it also is because I'm just not like the person who's
You're
like
not
3
that
weeks
guy.
out planning, you know what I mean? Because I don't feel like that is what makes, you know, a solid relationship.
No,
and I think,
it's not about the gift.
I think too many relationships, too many women, too many men.
You're missing the point.
No,
though.
I'm not. No.
It's not about the gift.
It's still the standard
for
of
me
what the
is
world
I mean.
expects. You know?
No.